listener, and welcome to Tim Portalers, the show where we jump around a whole bunch of different games and systems and hopefully do so in a somewhat coherent manner. And we're back, and the heroes are running around doing things now in still the world of Legend of the Five Rings. And with me I have...
I'm David, and I'm using a pandemic box to roll my dice.
Crossing so many streams.
I'm Rachel, and I use my phone like a normal person to roll my dice.
Normal person, real people use dice.
Is this some peasant joke? I'm too rich to understand.
Sorry, peasant. And I'm Kyle. And I also use my phone. Because apparently I'm royally, not a peasant. Sorry, dude. I would love to use dice.
He's already sharing with me. So, as we had left our heroes, you guys had found yourselves in the world of Rokugan and fallen rather quickly out of favor of most people you encountered, including villagers and members of apparently this vile Okita League, which is renegade, Ronin samurai, and various foot soldiers that have come together and formed this conglomerate that has nestled its fortress seemingly betwixt the lands of the Lion Clan and the Crane Clan. And neither one has really had the wherewithal or the death wish, seemingly, to attempt to remove them as a pimple from the landscape. And so, finding yourselves out wandering the lands of Rokugan with a small boy who had informed you that he was going to... rather, you all were going to help him in conquering the vile Okita League that has been oppressing everybody, including himself and his village. You had traveled and also encountered an ex-member of the Okita League in Jikeda. He was a rather accomplished warrior before falling in with the Okita, and now is doing everything he can to bring him down, except, actually joining an official army. But that's where you are now, as after getting some pocket money by doing some day hire farming, as the crops have been harvested in the nearby area, as you've entered deeper into the grain lands. You have submitted yourself to an individual, one Doji Toseki, relative of sorts to our own Doji Min, who is really Memphis from the Yatamu Lodge, but not really related to him because you guys don't technically exist in this world. Anyway, it's complicated. Under your relationship with various worlds, you can just put it's complicated. So,
Ain't that the truth?
as we had left things off, you were preparing to put yourself through whatever trials Doji Toseki might have awaiting you, as you have basically enlisted in the Crane Army at this point.
Hey guys, what were we thinking?
I don't know.
I think that we were thinking that we need to prove that we're not the bad guys.
That's a fair
We
point.
decided to join the good guys to prove that we're not the bad guys. And once we've proven that we're not the bad guys, we're going to convince the good guys, the other good guys, to come with us to fight the bad guys.
It's foolproof.
Yeah.
So, as you're all standing there in a row, the three of you, as well as Jikeden and Isoda-shan, the young boy, you're all standing there, stalwart, at attention, as...
Doji Toseki has requested we show our competence, essentially?
Yes. As you're all lined up before him, he's slowly pacing back and forth in front of all of you and looking you up and down, and just, you know that really disappointed back of the throat kind of tisk of, older gentleman. He's just seemingly entirely just underwhelmed by each of your respective presence, and when he gets to you, Memphis, just there's the shudder as at this point you've got a rather well crafted mask over your face, but he remembers what sounded and it's not pleasant. And as
It's a fear tactic.
as he comes to Isoda-shan is very much trying to look as though he's not standing on his tiptoes. But even so, even without standing on his tiptoes, he's actually about your height, Memphis. But he's standing there, doing that thing kids do, where they lift their
Is he
chin up.
11 or 12 or something?
Yeah,
like
he's
that?
about 12 years old. And Doji Toseki comes up before him and looks him over. And what role will you be taking in this great endeavor? Isoro-shan gives a genuflection of great deference, and if it pleases you, sir, I was hoping that I might take up a sword. Toseki looks back down the line to each of you.
Can't eat my poker face. I got a mask on, so I'm fine.
Am I to take it that there is precedent for allowing a child to wield a blade? I see. Very well. In this army, boy, you will supply us with whatever goods and aid we require. You will not take up your sword and be struck down by the whim of any competent foe. Isoro-shan's just kind of bridling and taking it, and gives another bow. Doji Toseki turns and slowly strolls back up the row of you. So, you wish to join the glorious army of the Crane clan?
Does he sound slightly sarcastic?
He sounds a lot sarcastic.
Okay.
You guys, you have come into town and presented yourselves as wild cards of sorts, who maybe you're artisans, he's not entirely sure, but next thing he knows, you're going out and earning coin by farming, and now you come to him saying that you wish to join the Crane military. He is not amused.
I'm just going to stand at attention, staring straight forward like a good recruit.
I'm gonna glance to the side and see that he's doing that and do the same.
Okay.
With probably a nervous shake if you look really close.
I mean, he's looking pretty close, this Toseki guy. So, as each of you is just simply standing there, mum, he glances over his shoulder to see, you see this possibly 7-foot tower of a man, just shoulders for days.
Please tell me this is our. Please tell me this is our mentor.
Well, he begins walking in your direction. None of you recognize him, but
I mean,
Is there a
perception check to
feeling
make
of
sure.
recognition like we had in our previous excursion?
I mean, you get the sense as you take in this big old beefcake that he is definitely abnormal for this world, but as he marches closer, he's actually lumbering forward. There is in his arms roughly a Memphis-sized boulder that
Oh my!
he is just hefting in his arms. Doesn't seem to be bothering him too much.
So
He
does
just,
he even lift, bro?
yeah. And he just heaves himself over to where all of you are standing, steps up beside Doji Toseki, who gives him a nod, and he just drops this boulder down to the ground.
I'll probably lose sight of everyone because it's not salty.
So, as this man looks across all of you, there's no recognition in his eyes. He simply takes a pace back from Toseki, who looks to each of you, looks down to the boulder. So, who will be first to carry this around the fortress?
Master, I got short little arms. I don't think this plan was well thought out.
You're pretty sure this was thought out.
Right. Well, if no one's gonna go for it, I guess Memphis will.
Okay.
No one else is showing any motive to go for it, so I'll go ahead and give it a try. I've already been making a fool of myself, so might as well make more. What am I going to be rolling?
You're going to be rolling Fitness Withstand.
Alright. Fitness. Withstand? Withstand.
Withstand.
Oh, withstand. No,
Oh, one word.
I don't see stand.
No, you're not rolling Fitness Stand. You are rolling Fitness Withstand.
And to remind me, black is green dice.
Correct.
Let's go with a 1.
Mm.
And opportunity.
Memphis, you shuffle your way up to this boulder that's about your size. Kind of get your arms under it and
I'm probably like just hugging it.
yeah, it's the thing where your feet are moving, just scuffing up the dirt, and the dust is spraying everywhere, and just. And as you pull away from the boulder, all of your energy spent. It hasn't moved, and
So fitness withstand, you said?
yeah.
Cool.
But you're looking at the boulder, and you look up and see that it seems like Toseki is at least like,
Okay.
at least he's not entirely disgusted with you for being the first one to step forward and actually try it.
Out of curiosity, is the boulder like? It's not like polished or anything like that, so it's not smooth at all. It's
No.
just flat.
It's a rough
I'm
boulder.
gonna-
Just
I'm gonna try.
okay. Saheen, you step forward.
I guess I'll shuffle off to the side.
So,
Awkward slide.
Back to the right.
one success, one strife.
Okay. Saheen, you hobble up to this thing and just kind of
Hobble. I
no,
don't hobble.
you maneuver up to this thing and you hunker
Okay.
down and try to get your arms under and get any sort of leverage on this thing. And over the next minute or so, you finally get to working it back and forth, and you have once you have expended your energy and taken a strife for all of your efforts, you finally just drop down, drenched in sweat, and you moved it about a foot.
Progress. Baby steps, guys. I just happen to look back at my stride. Whoa.
Well, after each scene, it goes.
It is reduced to half rounded up, I believe.
Not really. Well, cool.
And
They
then,
reduced to
and then overnight you gain back some, or no?
No, I think overnight is when it goes down to half.
yes.
If I remember.
Oh, okay.
So at each scene, I don't think you lose anything. Or do you?
Shoot, hang on. At the end of a scene, is it like you actually? Hang on. I think you roll for that actually
Oh, we never rolled
to
for
recover
it
strike at
before.
the end of a scene.
I didn't think you did.
Nope, I'm thinking of Star Wars. Never mind.
Different system.
Yep.
But is there after a scene getting rid of
I don't
strife?
remember any.
We talked about it last turn.
Last game.
Well,
I
yeah.
believe that a scene cannot end with anyone compromised, so that will have to be
I think, yeah.
concluded before the scene ends, and then you are reduced to your threshold once more.
Oh.
Unless you unmask, in which case it's reduced to 0.
Right.
Alright.
Yes.
Seeing
Or
Sahin's
maybe it was endurance.
fatigue, you mean?
Fatigue,
Yeah, that's probably what you were thinking of.
Maybe. Seeing Sahin have some not success,
Yep.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Okay.
Oh, and that got me. Yeah, they got me 2 success, 1 strife.
Okay. A strife is indeed taken, but as Hideyoshi, you step forward and you at least were seeing the groove that Sahin has sort of managed to start. You managed to, Easter Island head this thing, kind of walk it a few more paces before you two are left exhausted, and you've moved it a few feet.
I'm going to turn to my two companions and say, come on, let's do this
I
together.
would be really sad if the kid were to go up to it, just like walk away.
Oh, I invite the two of you to come over and help me.
Alright, I would hope.
Jacaden also steps forward.
And so does Sean. I beckon him to help
You
as
motion
well.
him forward. He
Yeah.
actually seems a little taken aback at that. All right. And comes forward and just kind of heaves himself shoulder under the thing.
So the five of us.
Yeah.
I just get like 4 extra
Well, who's
ring
got
dice.
I'm guessing you probably have the best.
This is I've got 2 black and a white.
I have none.
I have 1 and 1,
One.
so.
Does Jacaden have anything better?
He actually has 2 ranks in fitness.
Ooh, then let's see. I have 2 earth ring.
NPC stats.
Because if he's got the highest check,
Wow, yeah. You've got a 3 in there.
ooh, sweet. So can I roll for him?
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
And then do we get 4 extra ring dice because of all the 4 of us assisting, or?
What is this?
I'll allow it as everybody is coming together and. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta re-roll 2 of these. Okay, I'll re-roll these 2. Okay. So, and when you're doing the assist, you still only get to keep the ring dice worth of dice, right?
Correct.
Okay. So what we've
Unless
got-
somebody spends a void point.
I don't have any.
I am out of void points.
Yes, I am as
So,
well.
I'm gonna do that. Keep those. Okay, that gives us a total of 4 success, 2 strife.
Okay. Everybody, each of you takes 2 strife.
Woo!
You're at your threshold.
I'm at my threshold.
Yeah.
I have my threshold as well.
Oh boy.
I'm still a little bit less than my threshold.
But over the next hour, all of you manage to heave this boulder up between you and, end of Cool Runnings, hoisting the bobsled style, just.
Yeah, we're part of the samurai team.
Roku can say, you can't believe it.
New theme song?
If you must. But over like a little over an hour, I was actually, you all managed to just ploddingly heave this massive boulder around the entirety of the fortress exterior. Come back to the point of origin. You see, by the time you get back, Doji Toseki has just found a seat and is just slowly watching as you all heave the last few steps up to where you originated and just
Put it 1 step further than where it started.
Yes.
And upon thumping on the ground,
take a void point.
ooh,
And mind games. Well played.
upon thumping on the ground, I turn to Toseki Dono and I bow and I say, teamwork!
You're sitting there, arms folded. Gives a slow nod. Yes, perhaps between the 5 of you, you make a complete warrior. But that will remain to be seen. And it will be seen before the sun sets.
I'll look at the sun.
Look over the horizon. As you'd gotten here, it was pretty early in the morning still, even by the time Joseki had shown up. But it's getting, a little closer to mid-morning at this point.
Alright, let's go for the rest of the day. Right at my threshold.
He just slowly rises to his feet, and you see that as he looks over to the boulder, there is something where he's just like, as there was no way he expected any one of you to actually lift this thing alone.
Just saying something for the guy that's all shoulders.
Oh, where did shoulders go?
He's not present at the moment. He may have gone inside.
He's looking at another boulder.
Did anybody watch us go all the way around the fortress?
There were people up at the scout posts along the walls.
But nobody was like monitoring to make sure we didn't take a shortcut.
No.
Okay.
I
We
mean,
didn't.
there's no way that we could have took a shortcut besides loading it into a cart.
Yeah,
But
We did not cheat.
Yeah.
We are honorable.
But as Toseki stands, he looks across all of you. For your next test, you must now conceal from me that which I do not know to look for. Just walks back over to his chair and sits down.
well, he's never going to get me that from somewhere else, so that's good.
Resumes his seat, arms folded. He's just watching all of you. Waiting.
And again, it was the conceal.
You must conceal from him that which he does not know to look for.
Okay. Why must you play with my games with us? Great.
I feel like this is one of those, like, he thinks we have no honor, so he's not going to look for it, so we have to hide the fact that we have honor from him.
We already done so.
True.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, but
Jacaden's actually looking between all of you.
we
He
need
doesn't
to
know what he's talking about.
we need to conceal that which he doesn't know to look for.
Correct.
Do I know of any reference to a poem or story or song or other work of art that he might have taken this riddle from or taken inspiration from?
I'll say. What do I call that?
Culture?
Sure, I'll call it. Culture theorize.
Okay. Ooh, yeah.
In the same vein,
Hmm.
I'm going to go for a much broader stroke. What have I learned in school back at the lodge that relates to something like this type of thing where, like,
Do you have your Genesis?
yes, I do.
So I got 1 success, 1 strife, 2 opportunity.
Okay. You are not recalling that you know of any particular story or, proverb or anything that really relates to this. But as you're racking your brain trying to break down what Toseki is saying, you're getting the sense that he is not trying to lead you somewhere specific.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, can we make calming breaths out of, like, combat thing? Or are you
I don't believe so. That would kind of break the game.
Okay.
Does this count as an intrigue encounter?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does
Good for
that-
you.
What does that mean?
This basically means you're not in combat, you're not, grappling with somebody else in any sort of physical way. This is a mind exercise. This
But
appears to be a mental game.
it also means that there are some action things that we could conceivably do.
Mhm.
There's appeal to a person or group. Oh, these are objectives. Ooh.
You
So,
were saying.
Intrigue actions. Assist calming breath. Persuade unique action. Interesting, okay. So there is a calming breath. During a conflict, you may inhale deeply before exhaling, drawing upon your inner strength.
Can I do so?
make it a hard intellect check.
The straight intellect that is.
Yes.
Alright. Yeah. Okay. I believe in this. To advantage.
Okay.
Whatever that relates to.
I mean, this is seeming, this is your run-of-the-mill, teachers throwing a riddle at you in order for you to be able to prove something if you can. What it is he's trying to get from you, you're not entirely sure.
So So I'm gonna point out. You said you used your phone. That definitely didn't sound like using your phone to me to roll your dice.
He rolls dice, the peasants!
One
I'm
of
the
us.
Potter's
One of
Prince.
us.
It's like the whole Prince and the Pauper story.
You're in disguise.
No, I
Wink.
I'm undercover.
We're off on a secret mission.
Anyway, blah.
So, if he doesn't know to look for it, then he doesn't know to look for it.
So we're good. We're good. We just go up there and what? You just stand here and look at him.
I go in front of him and I get down into the kneeling stance and I just sit there and stare at him.
Okay. Alright, I would like you...
Staring contest begin.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna call this...
Meditation? Or...
It's not meditation. Basically, you're bluffing here.
But I'm not bluffing because I've got a lot of stuff to conceal from him. He just doesn't know it.
Okay. What is in your thoughts that you are actually concealing?
I'm from a different world!
Okay.
Which is, in fact, my dark secret anxiety.
Yes, it is.
After performing a check related to your anxiety, receive 3 strife, and then
Uh-huh.
gain a void point. Oh, this is going to be great, guys! Because I'm about to lose my cool.
We all are.
Okay.
Oh no. This could go poorly, guys.
I suppose I would call this performance trick.
Okay. Performance trick is air. It's my worst. Okay, I'm rolling.
Hey guys, remember when we wanted to join the army?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna spend the void point that I just got, so I can roll
Okay.
2 dice instead
Alright.
of 1. Okay.
You can't take any strife on them, right? Because you're over your threshold.
I'm not yet.
Oh, okay.
So that was 1 success, 1 opportunity, 2 strife, plus the additional 3 strife for my dark secret.
Mm-hmm.
So I take 5 strife, which that puts me at 14 out of 10.
Yeah. So, as you drop to your knees in front of him, you sink into your breathing and just stare him down. He's sitting there, arms still folded, and he's meeting your eyes.
I get more and more visibly struggling to maintain my composure as he's just not saying anything, and I'm just like, what, old man?
I'm watching, looking back and forth between them.
So who's gonna blink first, do you think?
I turn and glare at you.
I think they heard me.
After a moment, he grunts. You do hide something.
Everything.
But I am aware of it.
Is he? What do I do to determine if he is or not?
I would like you to...
Oh no. Oh no.
Courtesy enlighten.
Success opportunity.
Okay.
There are no strife on those dice. Yes.
Slowly stands back to his feet, reaches for his sword. Shing.
I also stand up, and I draw my own sword. And I turn it so that the... Is there a way, when starting a duel, to indicate that you don't want to harm the other person? Or maybe I can do like a formal bow before, like this is the formalized indication at the beginning of a practice session or something.
He just kind of lets his sword droop off to the side and gives a faint nod. He's not going to bow to you.
Okay, that's all right.
Once again, takes up his sword in both hands. And you guys are in a duel.
All right, guys.
Your might.
Yeah, I'm about to test
And
my
you
might.
are compromised.
I am already compromised. This is
Round
great.
one, begin.
But I still have quick reflexes, but I can't use any strife. Oh crap! I am so screwed.
But now you can take calming breaths. Trying to get that figured out.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Alrighty,
How much does it
so
go down with calming breath again?
One.
Oh.
I'm at 14 out of 10.
Alright, so you are in.
Water stance.
Alright. I think this is the first time you're in an actual Yaijutsu duel.
Yes, because the previous one was, warriors. No, it was a sparring bout. Incapacitation.
Alright, but this is
Oh, wait, hang
this
on.
is Yaijutsu. You're fighting with actual swords to first blood.
Okay, that's... Wait, no. That's... Okay, okay. I had not scrolled up high enough to realize that there are two kinds of
There's
Yaijutsu duels.
Yaijutsu to first blood, there's Yaijutsu to the death.
Okay.
He is not going... You don't think he's planning on killing you.
That's good. I'm glad that he's not planning on killing me. That makes me happy.
Alright, so stare down. Well, first off, the meditation check.
Okay. Alright. And I'm already in water stance. Meditation. Okay. Not you. I can't take anything. No!
Nothing.
It's all gut strife.
3 was right by one opportunity.
Okay.
Oh boy.
This is going to be interesting.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's nice knowing you guys.
At least if I do a stare down with them, I'm going to have something on my side. I can just take off my mask. I'm just like,
Alright. Okay. So
so who's going first?
Oh wait! Because I have quick reflexes, I get to reroll 2 of my dice, so I should actually get to reroll 2 of those.
okay.
Holy, forgot about that. They both have strength.
Okay.
Now
So yeah, I need actually for attack now.
Yep. Yep.
First you
Now,
meditate, then you
the
attack.
character with the higher initiative value takes the turn, followed by the character with the lower value. If they're tied in lower honor. Alright. So,
Sort of. So are we doing a stare down? Oh no, he automatically wins the stare down because I can't spend anything.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, could have been worse.
At least I started compromised, so I don't get the automatic strike against me when I become compromised.
Yeah. It's the little things, I guess.
Hooray.
So, yeah. be, as he brings his sword around, it's clearly just gonna cleanly slash across the front of you. Not deeply, but deeply enough. But at the last moment, he diverts the blade and brings it around, still in full guard, and just awaits your strike.
Huh.
This is Samurai Capoeira.
Huh.
What's she gonna do?
What are you gonna do when it's time for you?
Well, I'm in water stance, so I'm gonna take a calming breath.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get that strike down to 13. Yeah. And then I think I'm just gonna take a strike at him, and I'm
All right.
gonna aim for something that's decidedly non-vital.
Okay.
And I'm using a sword, so I actually have
What about their legs?
heavy blows.
I am not for eating.
Okay, and I can actually use some of these dice, specifically those 3, which doesn't do me a whole lot of good because it's only 1 success, 2 advantage.
There's like the high-pitched ringing of steel v steel, and as your brief clash is concluded, he actually falls back a pace and just twitches his blade over in the direction of Yasodashan. One more child than that one, playing at being a warrior. I would like you.
I am now quite upset. I probably just automatically fail this check.
Your compromise.
Oh yes, I'm very compromised. I shout of frustration and I take another swing at him.
Okay, but now that you're compromised,
He gets a free
he
shot.
gets a free shot.
Goodbye.
Wow.
Oh no. Oh no.
So how many arms do I lose?
I thought it was legs. You don't need those.
And he's in fire stance.
Oh, snap.
So that, right, that's a total of
Wait for it.
10 successes.
Okay. Well,
That would completely take me out.
10 success, you say?
Yep.
And what is that? But I mean, I know that's for him, but what is that against the endurance?
Well, it's basically you add 9 then to the damage of his weapon, which is.
Okay. Alrighty then. Where's...
So yeah, that's a total of 13.
Okay, let me... I have an option in here somewhere.
Wow. Well done, Mr. Samurai.
He's better than me.
You're better than us. What you got, boy?
I'm double checking the rules for defending.
I must say that was a scary amount of success.
Yeah, that was 4 exploders.
It reminds me of a time that a certain crit was landed and somebody lost their leg in another game. So just like, well, yeah. When GM's on fire, GM is on fire, and things happen.
This GM's fire.
Okay.
Yeah, what you got?
I'm going to fatigue all of that damage. Was it 14?
13.
13 damage. I'm going to fatigue all of it, which means I'm above my endurance threshold.
Mhm.
But what I want to do is I want to step all up close into him, so it hits me here, and then just stare into his eyes as I lose consciousness.
Okay.
not my other
Well,
option.
actually, that'll require another roll from him. Well, you're lucky, because as you step forward, you're just ready. He's just come on, hit me. As you just lunged forward in your compromised state, he just glances it around and reverse rips smoothly and just swipes it up around, and he could easily just decapitate you at this point. But you just step forward into it and just shink, and as all of you are watching, the blade just stops and cuts precisely as deep into your neck as he wants it to.
And then I pass out.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Which, those of you watching,
Again?
it's it barely bit into the flesh, but there is still the blood trickling from the wound.
Wow.
And Doji Toseki just cleanly wipes off his blade, sheathes it once more, looks over to the rest of you. Remove this one.
I'll go ahead and head on over and try to.
Little Memphis goes over and you heave him up under his. Just make an athletics. Fitness in this game. Fitness shift, I guess, since you're just dragging him.
I have 2 success.
All right.
I'm well done at lifting.
Yep. You just kind of heave them up under the armpits and just drag him away from where Toseki is. Toseki at this point just resumes his seat and sits there waiting.
I want to go ahead and I can't do that much medical stuff, but at least just make sure that it's not gonna. Obviously, it's not gonna bleed out, but a little patch or something on there, so that way it's not
Just make sure you don't kill him. Make a. Just make a medicine analyze.
okay. I'm just gonna go. Sorry, there, David, with an opportunity.
I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah. You just kind of plastered something against his neck. There's still
Okay, strike over that.
yeah. For the next minute or so, there's still the blood trickle around whatever you plastered onto his neck, but he'll be fine.
Cool. Rewind a little bit. The question that was posed to all of us fine folksies.
You must conceal from him that which he does not know to look for. Which may have worked had Hideyoshi not been compromised.
I'm at my threshold.
Yeah. We all are.
Ooh, I could just do the whole Joker thing when I know how I got these scars. I don't even know how I got them. I just showed up here. I don't normally look like this.
I have a new theory about this guy, but we'll see.
Is he actually work Dr. Ball? And just toying with us?
I don't remember Dark Portal being that much of a jerk.
But he is an agency guy, and so he knows to make himself fit in with his surroundings. So
You know what happens when you lose your extra arms?
bad things
You
happen.
get cranky? You take it out on random people?
Since we can't make perception checks in this here old game, we're not getting, like Rachel was saying, we're not getting any of the vibes that, hey, this guy kind of seems familiar, maybe ish with this whole training.
By the
Not
way,
really.
Okay. I'm sorry, what?
performing a check related to your anxiety receives 3 strife, then gain 1 void point.
Right, so I have a void point now.
Okay.
I thought you used it, though.
And then got another one back.
Yeah, from doing his anxiety check out on his anxiety.
He had,
So you did it twice, basically.
I got 1 void point for the move the rock an extra
Oh,
step.
that's where
And then I spent that one to
roll in order to make the check that you got the void point from. I thought you were using the
Yes.
void point that you were making from the check to do it. That's why I'm like, wait, why do you have another one back?
Basically, the player David did something that was very samurai training. So it was like, all right, take a
Okay, well played.
I'm gonna, think of the most annoying, mindless like song or what a ditty, and just like start spinning that in my head and go follow Hideyoshi's lead and see what happens.
Place it back in your head.
I mean, I'm just gonna have something kind of mindless, like circling. Essentially,
It goes on.
when a song is stuck inside your head, just
See if we can
sing.
get all the copyright.
So what do I have to roll something?
You go and kneel before him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're just playing a little ditty in your mind.
And I'm just sitting there, kind of, kind of trying to clear my thoughts, quiet my mind, and think of nothing but the annoying ditty. Essentially.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Your tail is showing.
Like, be quiet.
Gosh, what are you saying right now?
Make a games trick.
Would you like to play a game?
Okay. So before I explode dice, I remove the ones I don't want to keep, right? Or how does that work?
David, do you?
You choose the ones you want to keep, and if you keep any exploders, then they explode.
Okay.
I feel like every time we have an explosion, we always need to have like a Michael Bay explosion going on back over there.
Explosion.
I get the explosions are supposed to be his thing, but they just look like fireworks. I don't.
2 success.
Okay. As you're kneeling there before them, he frowns after a moment. And what is this meant to be?
You said to conceal.
I knew that was coming.
But now they know.
He just kind of raises an eyebrow. Seems to at least be assessing that you're not entirely taking this seriously, but
Yeah, no, I'm not. But,
just,
that's the way I do.
just kind of grunts and waves you off.
Okay. Can I, have we determined if there's a sense motive in this game?
No. Shoot, what is
It's
it?
right into the perception check, actually.
You can roll vigilance, I suppose, which is air plus water divided by 2.
But that's my. I have a 2.5 for that. Do I have to roll that, or I'm confused?
And you're trying to do something to determine his state of mind, yes?
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of for that would be vigilance.
So I would roll 2 ring die then, because 2.5 makes no sense.
Correct.
Roll 3-sided die, see what happens.
I don't want to take this result
Okay.
because it will give me strife and I will be compromised.
Then, so we'll say, as you're getting back to your feet, you turn around and are walking away and just do a little, like the fake out glance over your shoulder and try to get any sense of him, and he's still just arms folded, watching you step away.
Darn, I tried to fake him out. It didn't work.
You're up at this.
Yeah. And again, hide something that he doesn't. Or
Conceal from him that which he does not know to look for.
Ooh. Put a rock in your pocket.
what have I got in my pockets?
Snort fly.
Right. I mean, he doesn't know how many siblings I have. That works, I guess. What?
Possibly.
Yeah, true. But he can kind of glean it from me if he so looked in the right right spot, so that I got 3 masks, but he wouldn't be able to guess that I have my brother because I'm currently wearing my brother's mask right now. But anyway, I'm going to go
Oh,
ahead.
no, you got the crane mask already.
Yeah, that's my brother's mask. I'm going to give it to him later. I'm wearing it right now. Anyway, so I'm going to go up, follow the lead of my 2 compatriots, take a calming breath, not in game, but just like a breath, and then kind of sit down and then take off the mask. So that way he actually has to look at me like that. And then just kind of sit there patiently and just think of my SIDS.
Okay. Make a performance trick.
Okay. Bam. Yeah. All 3 half stripes, so might as well go for it.
Am I the only one that's gonna make the hit through this?
Bam, bam.
Oh, but I unmasked, so all my strength
You
goes
good?
away.
Oh, damn!
In your dazed
Damn,
state
damn.
where you wake, slowly come into consciousness and like, am I bleeding?
What is this? What?
Now,
Ew,
Seth,
what
do
is
I
this
keep all
like?
the exploded dice that got exploded from the dice?
Yes.
So I can
chain.
with 4 success, 2 opportunity, 5 strength.
Interesting.
I had
Wait,
2
what?
exploders that exploded, and they also exploded. And so I ended up with 4 success, 2 opportunity, 5 strength. I am now compromised.
All right.
That's a check.
Uh-huh.
So you're kneeling there before Doji Toseki, and he actually seems most intrigued by what your vibe is here. He's just kind of looking you over and assessing what it is you're playing at. Sort of cocks his head. Slowly stands to his feet. Rests his hand on the hilt of his sword, but does not draw it yet. Remove your mask.
Oh, I already did.
Yeah, he removed.
I removed my mask, but I sat down.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo thing.
This could only be one person.
Someone's gained.
But as he's seeing your looking at your actual face, this. Shing.
Oh, shoots. I guess he does the whole thing again.
He's drawn his weapon. He seems to be waiting for you to react.
I'll go ahead and give him a bow while I'm seated, and then go ahead and stand up, and then
But maybe you're also specific if you didn't do wrong.
I don't
But
know.
you're also compromised, so
Yeah.
if I had not been compromised, I probably would have just
Right.
sat there and not.
I mean, I don't know how compromised Memphis looks like in this situation. He's definitely doesn't know what to do, and his fear of the unknown is probably coming into play a little bit.
Yeah, you don't know. It's like you actually. Well, no, you would have seen
I've
this
seen
have
2 other
played
people
out.
come
Yeah.
up.
So this isn't entirely unknown.
Right, true.
What do you do?
I know. Kyle's trying to think of a way around this, but Memphis probably doesn't know what to do, so. What to do? I guess since I am compromised, if this isn't thinking too hard about this, as much as Kyle wants to think about this.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and draw my little short
Wakizashi?
Thank you, Wakakashi. My short sword.
Yeah.
Go ahead and draw it, but keep it at my side.
Okay.
And then
He brings his up to guard.
I will go ahead and take mine up the guard as well, but just keep it there though, since I know Memphis isn't quite the fighter. So
Well, you're in a duel.
yeah, so gonna keep it there for now. And I can't do any stripes, so he goes first.
Yep. So yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
May the force be with you.
Ooh. 4 success, 2 opportunity, 5 strength. 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 4
Interesting.
Not the face!
His first swipe is a little disoriented, almost, it feels like. It swings about for where your head should be if he's going for an actual, adult man, but as it just faintly overshoots, but kind of scores down and would go across your shoulder. That would be 4 damage, unless you wish to defend.
Well, how do you defend?
Basically, what is your defense?
My defense? That's just from my armor?
Yeah.
Which is a -1.
I believe there are also talents and skills and whatnot.
I don't have any of those.
So -1?
Yeah.
So...
Well, I guess I probably should say what my ring is. I'm going to go ahead and go for... why not? We'll go for water stance.
Alright.
So he probably still hits me. But yeah.
Oh wait, no, water is the one where you need 3 successes?
No, that's Aaron.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So yes, does still hit, and you take the 4 damage reduced to 3 because of your defense.
Right.
It just is still bringing his blade around and seems to be in very quick, tight arcs of his blade that are just shifting about.
Cool.
What do you do?
I have a short sword. What's the terrain like around us?
Pretty flat.
Pretty flat?
It's slightly raised where the fortress has been built, but it basically comes down into just flat lowlands where the rice fields are and everything.
Okay. Huh. Is it dusty?
Not incredibly.
Huh. So far, like, the kind of a low move for a samurai, but kick dust in the face.
Pocket sand!
Right, yeah.
You can attempt to do so.
Okay.
There is dust to be found, but it's
Right.
not like Wild West.
Right.
The tumbleweeds everywhere.
Alright, cool. Shoot. I don't have the book. Can somebody go look up on page 192 for Bliss Wind? I think that's only for range attacks. I did take a comic friend.
192?
192.
Blessed Wind.
Yeah.
As a support action, you make a target number 2 theology air check, targeting one position in range 0 to 3. If you succeed, you summon a swirling wind at the target position.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that and do it right on his position.
Alright.
Make a little dust cloud in his area.
Alright, make a theology air check.
And any character at range 0 to 2 of the chosen position counts as being in obscuring terrain for the
Alright.
purposes of attack actions targeting them? Huh.
Oh, yeah. I can use those because those don't have strike on them.
So you probably want to target yourself with that, so that any attacks that he makes against
true.
you are
Yeah,
obscured.
So you're
I'll
trying to
do
bring
that.
up the dust
Right.
devil in front of you.
Yep. 2 success, 1 opportunity, which I think does it.
Yep.
So,
That's target number 2. So you begin to just kind of spin your sword around like you're stirring a cauldron, and the dust begins to swirl up from the ground and fan out in front of you. You've successfully Moses the situation here, and as this rush of wind has come up between you, and you are effectively obscured. However, at this point, you hear him call out from the other end of this kind of shifting sand between you that's kind of come up as a veil. So you choose to hide rather than face your opponent head on.
I don't reply.
I would like you.
Oh, boy.
Doing one of them there taunt actions.
Yep.
And your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of the elderberry.
You are gonna.
My mama always said, don't take up taunts. What am I going to roll?
Roll your composure.
If you were Luke, I would tell you to taunt on.
Oh,
Taunt
no.
on, taunt on.
Oh,
And I thought those taunts were yeah, so
I'm so sorry.
how do I roll my composure then, per se?
It is earth plus water times 2.
Right, so do I just roll all 8 of my...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm a bad person.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
So
6,
terrible.
7, 8. Well, bam! So much dice. And I can't use any with strife, so I can't use... I got that one. And that's it. Woo! 1 success.
Nope.
Everything else has strife.
You, sir, are unmasked.
Whoa! I do have lots of masks. So that means all my stuff goes down to 0, right?
It's you return down to your 0
Right.
strife at the end of resolving the unmasking.
Correct, yeah.
Which is right.
You're
Or-
currently resolving.
You're resolving it.
Right.
First, he gets his
Right.
finishing blow, which is gonna be
That means he enters my area and he's in the storm with me.
Yep. Which I believe obscuring means he needs an extra success.
Obscuring. Yeah, increase the TN of all attacks
Right.
by 1.
Okay, so rather than taking 7 damage, you take 6.
Oh boy. Even though I only have 3 left. I'm not bad.
So once again, those of you looking on, which will say, Hideyoshi, you've stirred at this point and are lifting your head in time to see Doji Toseki come about and just kind of rattle your head with the butt of his blade. And actually, as you fall, just brings his blade down. And for a second, those of you who are watching this think, he just skewered Memphis through the thigh? And then you realize it's right next to the thigh, where you have your cage with little Jeremy.
No! Not the Jeremy! Although, do I notice this or am I already unconscious?
You are unconscious.
So I don't realize
At least
it.
lying there, you've been thrown back, and your head is ringing. And he withdraws his blade, wipes it off, sheathes it once more.
So am I unconscious then? Or
Yeah, you're lying there in a
Okay,
stupor,
so-
basically.
okay. But to clarify, all my strike has gone away though.
Yep.
Struck by lightning, struck by lightning. Hobbit reference for the win.
Yeah. So as he looks on at this point, Jakeda actually steps forward and helps just kind of drag you back and looks to each of you. Oh, I suppose this is what we are doing.
If you have any better ideas, we're open to them.
Well, I'm not a PC, so anyway. But he steps forward, sinks to his knees where Toseki has once again resumed his seat, arms folded, and he is going to attempt to hide something. There. He simply stares down Toseki for a moment, who at one point just kind of reaches up and scratches his chin. Just waves him off. Jakeda slowly resumes his feet, gives a respectful bow, backs away to stand with the rest of you. At this point, Memphis, you've stirred, mostly come back to yourself, and yeah, you've got this huge bruise swelling up on the side of your face, but otherwise you're fine.
I go ahead and put my mask on and then look at and see is Jeremy still with us or?
The cage, like the very finely arrayed bars of it have been pried open, and there is no cricket inside.
Jeremy, no!
I'm going to go and pick up Hitsujinu and clean him or her off, and
Okay.
Whisper for Jeremy.
I also look around for the cricket.
We'll say,
Tell me
I have vigilance
would
too.
help. 'Cause
survival produce, I guess.
all of us or just
Yeah.
one of us?
Okay, well,
Survival produce. I just rolled 1 black die. Alright, let's do this. Ha! It's blank. I got nothing.
Yep, you're looking
One
around.
success, one opportunity.
No sign of Jeremy. Oh no.
well. Figures. Looking for a stupid freaking cricket! That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 success. Plus 1 opportunity and 2 strife. 3 strife. I kind of...
That's amazing.
There!
I like to think that he's actually behind my head the whole time, so it's like I can't find him.
And actually, it's a little ways off, Hideyoshi. You have to go walking a little ways off for it. But you're there's the faint in the air, and you're just right there. Kind of snatch him out of the air.
I return him to Memphis.
I thank you, Hideyoshi and Jeremy. Gotta stay closer together next time, pal. I know. It's alright. And I'll put it back in the cave.
Little hideous cricket. Which the cage is
Oh, it is?
rusted open.
Oh, alright. So I'll go ahead and just kind of hold on to him then for right now.
Okay. As you're all there and you've managed to recover this cricket, you actually hear from where Toseki is sitting this small, huh? And you look over and Isoto-shan is standing at Toseki's shoulder and just kind of turned at this point is looking at him. And you swear there's this faint tug of a smile on Toseki's face and just
Is that what he was looking for?
waves him off. As Isoto-shan returns to you. Said he concealed what he didn't know to look for, and apparently he didn't know to look for me.
Good
Well
work,
done.
kid.
Stupid NPC succeeding and the PCs fail.
So, at this point,
I'm no longer compromised, so
I'm not either, but I'm at my threshold, so...
the various stair domes have taken a bit of time. It's getting to be closer to late morning, almost midday at this point. And
Scene is ended at this point.
Which means what?
Back down to half fatigue.
but no less than half, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah.
Half rounded up. And we don't have downtime, so it doesn't apply to strife. Because I think that has to be downtime, right?
So, as you've all concluded seemingly this lesson, Toseki actually stands. I must prepare for my midday meal. Meanwhile, the rest of you can see about watering these horses. You look over and there's one of the soldiers has brought in 5 horses. One for each of you.
Mm-hmm.
What about our own personal horses? Are they still at the Lucky Cricket?
I don't think you brought them with you.
So there's not left.
There's a couple still there. But the horses are brought forward. Each set of reins is handed off to one of you.
Mhm.
And as the soldiers who brought them retreat, Toseki just nods. We must water them from the correct trough within the city. Turns and walks into the fortress.
The grooms who brought the horses, are
Yes.
they still within a short distance?
They're returning inside if you wish to
Okay.
call to them.
I do wish to call to them.
So you hail them, and one of them looks to you and just shakes his head and just keeps walking inside. The other one glances back and forth and slowly makes his way back to you. We
I
are
sidle
not
up.
meant.
I sidle up to this conversation.
We are not meant to offer any guidance.
Well, you don't have to guide us there. We just need to know where we're going.
But that would defeat the purpose.
Isn't the purpose to find the right trough by any means?
Purpose is to discover it.
How?
It is up to you.
I pull out a boo.
He looks at it, frowns.
My head.
I pull out a boo.
You pull out a boo.
I seek to overcome the challenge. This is how it can be done. This is one way it can be done.
It is one way the challenge can be completed.
Put it back in my purse and
At least any words of wisdom.
We are not meant to offer assistance.
It wasn't assistance I was looking for.
Well, they were off through this. Because I have Jeremy in one hand. I'm going to let, once again, since he let me
Oh
put it in.
no!
Oh boy.
Well, I guess this is what we're doing.
So I'm going on.
As I motion at the scene behind me.
Yes, I'm going to hop on the horse
Okay.
Yep.
and then just hold the reins loosely in the saddle and then just sit there.
Okay.
I'm letting Jeremy guide me.
All right. Using cricket divining rod, we'll say survival innovate.
Okay.
I'm gonna let the, hold the reins loosely and let the horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let the horse go back home.
There's a point where the reins of which you're holding is just kind of nudges you, saying, seeming to be like, "Are we going anywhere?"
Even though I'm in the saddle? I got in the saddle and was waiting
Oh,
for the horse to take me places.
yeah, but it would still kind of turn back and.
Then I would lean forward and whisper in its ear, God, little pony, find the water.
Interesting.
I approve. I approve
You
so
also
much.
make a survival innovate.
I have 2 opportunity, 1 strength.
Okay.
Wait, survival innovate?
Yep.
Okay.
Because you've made a little hand cage for Jeremy at this
Right.
point, just waiting for him to be your little divining rod and just kind of sitting there, not really seeming to do anything. Meanwhile, the horse you were supposed to be holding the reins of is just kind of stepping off at this point.
Can I follow the horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to, if my horse does not seem inclined to move while I am atop it, just give it a point in the direction of the city and give a little kick and then just wait for it to walk back wherever it is intended to go.
At the touch of your heel, it begins slowly plodding its way forward.
Okay. 1 success, 2 opportunity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you are leaning over and whispering encouragement into this little pony's ear, it's
It's my little pony.
friendship is magic. It does glance back to you and just kind of do that thing that horses do where the eye shifts around and just kind of takes in everything for a moment and just kind of turns back forward and just kind of slowly begins moving through the buildings that step
Who's
away
a
from
good boy? No, okay.
Did
Totally
you check to see if it's a boy?
So the horse is not wandering around the city and grab, just kind of lightly hold its reins so that way it's not just unattended horse walking through the city.
Okay. When you take its reins, it does stop short. It is a trained horse. If you take the reins, it is not going
Well, I didn't know, if I were to just let the horse walk around and me walk beside it, is that, could I just do that? What happens if I let go? Is it, or is it
to.
something?
It pauses for a moment, but after a bit, just kind of swings its head back and forth and pushes off, just
So I'll
slowly
follow
walking
it
around.
and still have a little hand cage for Jeremy.
Okay.
If I do pass by the shop that sells cages, I'm gonna buy a new cage with my perception check.
Nope, and rolling percentile, I guess, for that.
Okay.
So. You find a little pet shop tucked away in this village.
Wow.
Lucky Cricket Pet Shop?
Yeah.
That's
Man, that's an overused name, guys.
Yeah.
It's a franchise.
The ugly cricket. They named it incorrectly on the sign. And as you go inside, you're able to purchase another cage for what do we like 2 zenny.
Yeah. I'll thank the person and then go head out and follow the horse stuff.
You've had your horse actually
I would probably
hobbled outside.
tied it up just so it's not like wandering off while I'm like, hey.
Seeing all of you wander off in your own different directions, Isoda-shan and Jikeden look to each other, shrug.
Or the NPCs are the only people that join the army.
Isoda-shan just kind of heaves himself on top of his horse and just kind of starts, trotting around the village and seems to just be, making a quick zigzagging survey of things. Jikeden actually is just seeming to remain there with his horse for a moment. And yeah, just kind of sitting nearby in the shade while making sure the horse is still remaining out in the sun.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Clever. As I sit upon my horse as it chooses where to go itself, I'm going to look around on the saddle for any sort of markings or symbols that might indicate which garrison or stable it belongs in.
Okay. Make a... I suppose I'd call that courtesy, recognizing that sort of thing.
Okay.
So... I suppose courtesy...
There's also know or learn a fact is under the scholar skills, like government maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I'd allow government survey.
Okay.
He said, was it a pet shop?
Go ahead. Nah, let's do it. You roll.
Nope. That was one of those.
Sorry, go.
Out of curiosity, was the pet shop just for crickets, or was that an actual pet shop?
Yeah, there's various small critters
Okay.
that, you know...
Was there any snackage for say a horse or something like that?
A horse?
I don't know why I said like a horse.
Well, there's
Horse?
snacks for a horse, of course.
Oh. How much could a horse eat?
Yeah, there's carrots and
Alright.
various grasses and...
Is there anything that Memphis will know that's kind of salty? Cows obviously like salt blocks, but I don't know if horses like that sort of thing.
You can try to just find a place to feed it salt. You'd probably find, more like lumps of salt, like at a butcher or something. But, here is, you can get apples or carrots or their various grasses for
I'll go
horse
ahead and
feed.
pick up an apple or two for the horse.
Okay.
I got 2 success, 2 strife, 1 opportunity.
Okay. As you're looking over the horse, it has been saddled up. It does appear to be, bearing the colors of the Crane clan. However, as you're assessing it, there are markings on the saddle that seem to indicate a date of some kind.
Okay. Recent date, distant date.
It seemed, as you're remembering what time of year here it is, it does appear to be from round about the start of summer, which you're right about the end of summer here, because things are just harvested.
Okay. Can I tell if that is a date of manufacture of the saddle itself?
The saddle seems older than that.
Okay. But the marking is on the saddle.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. I continue to sit upon the horse as it goes wherever.
Okay.
Once again, since I don't have a book, can someone look up what Commune with the Spirits on page 212 is? I'm going to go talk to nature.
Commune with the spirits. As a downtime activity or support action, you may make a target number 1 theology check using air, earth, fire, water, or void to appeal to nearby spirits of that element. Appeal to the departed, such as ancestor spirits or other non-elemental supernatural presences if using void. For aid. If you succeed, choose and receive one of the following boons. You can sense the kami. You can learn one fact about the spirit. One fact the spirits know about the area. Or elemental gift. The kami deliver a small amount of the element in question to you.
I don't know. I guess I'll go ahead and, since I'm already kind of letting the horse guide me kind of thing, I'll go ahead and commune with the spirits and go ahead and use, I don't know if this would be more earth or water, but try to figure out what, since it's a water trough that they said, what water trough is home for this horse, if that makes sense. I don't know if I can do that per se with that, but I'll leave it up to your discretion there, good GM.
It wouldn't be anything as precise as, this is, this horse belongs over here and will drink specifically and exclusively from this trough.
Right.
only ever in their lifetime.
I guess maybe I could do more of. I guess this would probably be more Earth. Sorry to interrupt you there. To figure out where exactly does this horse call home. So kind of roughly what David's doing, but not going about the manufacture date. But
Okay.
where does the horse quote reside? I guess it would be a better way to say it.
Okay. You do.
I'll need a roll for it.
You do get the sense that that does appear to be known, I guess, among the kami here. What's the commune check?
So I have to go.
That's
like,
it.
theology.
Target number 1, theology.
Yeah, and I have to go roll a certain ring in order to commune with that certain type of kami.
Correct.
So, and what?
So yeah, theology, Earth. I'll allow it.
Okay. Although I can only keep one of these, so we'll go ahead and just go with that one. Blue me. So, that is 1 success, 1 opportunity.
Okay.
Opportunity, you can reduce the target number of your next check to interact or appeal to the common or supernatural presence of this element by 1, or if you succeed, receive 1 additional boon per opportunity spent that way.
So I'll go ahead and just use that as an extra boon.
Okay. What secondary boon would you like?
So, location, and this is Earth. Shortest route to get there. So I don't know my way around the city.
Okay. As you're taking a moment and, as the awful sounds of Jeremy cricketing away fade away and you commune with the kami around you, you get this image of looks like an ordinary, somewhat dilapidated farmhouse surrounded by fields.
Okay.
It is not in the city.
Alright. And do I get a route-ish to there, or
It would be
can you pull it up on my head?
yeah, east by northeast.
Oh, okay, so not south by southwest. Huh?
Nope.
Alright. So I'll start heading that way then.
Okay.
I guess I'll also consult Jeremy and see if he's also kind of leading that direction.
He's a cricket. He's kind of slowly hopping around your hand where you're just kind of holding him close to
I
my
put him in the new cage.
Oh,
Yeah.
tuck him in the new shiny new cage. He's
Yes.
getting accustomed to his new surroundings, and seems to be fine with it. He's a cricket. It's hard to tell. But as you start heading off in that direction, those of you still meandering about with your horses see that Memphis is just riding off. At this point,
I do have my mask back on, by the way.
it's going to be midday, early afternoon. You're still just kind of
Is the
wandering
horse
around.
is the horse at this point wandering in circles?
Not circles really, but just seems to be meandering, and whenever there's patches of grass, just kind of stopping and nibbling and looking up, and sometimes children come by and want to pet his nose or something. He just kind of leans into it.
Whenever when one of the batches of children comes around, yes,
I look
batches
for
of
the young
children.
lad.
Give me a small boy.
I don't,
I need a beret.
I'm not gonna take a swing at that one. I ask the children if they have seen this horse before.
I would like you.
I'm gonna interact with children.
Yeah, this will go great.
Oh,
Uh,
perfectly.
Are you being commanding or courteous?
I'm being courteous.
Alright. Courtesy charm.
Okie dokie. Well, at least that one explodes.
So you do really well on finding the cricket, but we suck.
1 success, 1 strife.
Okay. A few batches of children come and go, and whenever you try to speak with them, just kind of shuffle awkwardly away, some of them even scurrying. Before finally, after a couple of hours, One of the children just kind of scuffs his foot in the dirt and just kind of nods.
Do you know where this horse lives?
Nods.
Can you take me there? Please.
Slowly raises up a hand.
Well, I got a spare boot lying around. That's probably a lot for a kid. I'm gonna give him 2 zany.
Okay. So you drop the coins in his hand. He looks at them. His eyes go a bit wide. Seems to register. Oh wait, no, I actually have to do the job. Just tucks them away in a pocket. Just kind of motions for you to follow. Just slowly walking down the road.
I proceed to follow him.
Okay.
I'm still going with my, okay, little pony, take me to the water.
So he's horse
Yes, exactly.
Okay. There comes a point where an onlooker on the side of the road as you're going on, just kind of nudging the horse forward. You got this, little pony. One of them just, are you well?
Everything's fine. And I go back to whispering to the pony.
We're all fine here. How are you?
All right. So, as you're all heading in your various directions,
Does my new guide take me in roughly the same direction I saw Memphis going earlier?
heading more south.
Okay.
Southeast-ish.
Okay.
I like to think of it as like, I know.
Do I see either of them?
Yeah, you would kind of be able to look between the buildings and see that they're heading off in different directions as the sun is now beginning to
Okay.
make its downward.
Do I notice that Hideyoshi has a guide?
Yep, this little kid is kind of slowly sauntering in front of him, just kind of swishing at rocks and grass and like tossing pebbles into streams. And
Okay, little pony, go home.
I super believe in you.
Do we see Isodashan or Jikedan?
Jikaden you haven't seen since you left the fortress. Isoda-shan, you would actually be able to probably still see him. He's just kind of been making slowly wider circuits around the fortress and village, and just seems to be running the Nautilus, as it were. Just kind of slowly getting wider and wider circles, and hoping that eventually he'll come across something that the horse recognizes or whatever.
We're great guys. We know this stuff.
Oh boy.
We're so ready to be samurai.
Getting to be kind of mid-afternoon at this point, as Memphis, you see up ahead, there's a small farmhouse just kind of sitting there, and you see that there's the surrounding fields of it, and the horse begins to pick up its pace a bit. And
Does it look like it's someone's home, or is it like deserted, or?
there's smoke coming out of the chimney at the top of it, and as you draw near, woman maybe in her 30s comes out and is wiping her hands off and is coming up and bowing to you.
I'll give a short bow from the saddle, if I can talk English. Yeah.
And she looks at the horse, looks to you. Sorry, what is this?
Oh, excuse me. My name is Doji Min. I was tasked from, what's the guy's face?
Doji Toseki.
Doji Toseki to go take this horse back to it where, just to remind me, where it gets,
You must take it to you must water it from the correct trough.
that we must water it from the correct troughs, and it led me here. I don't mean to pose or anything, but do you recognize this horse?
No. It's good to have him back.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could bring him back to you. I'll go ahead and hop off the horse since I don't know if I'm supposed to leave with him or whatever.
You drop down and she's a little taller than you.
Right.
And she's just kind of whispering in the horse's ear and stroking its neck, and it's leans into her a bit.
Aw.
And she's like, actually seems to be getting emotional. And nods her gratitude to you. Do I owe you anything?
Well, due to my generosity, passion, I know exactly if, with gifts and all that, if people need to owe me or anything like that. I don't think so.
You were given the job from the
Right.
samurai.
So I'm pretty sure. I think we're good to go. So no, you don't owe me anything, and I'll go give her 2 apples that I bought, and you can get them to. I'm guessing it's a stallion horse.
It's a male horse.
Male horse, yeah. You can give these to him later.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you. I'll go ahead and give a short bow. I'm glad he could be returned back home. And we're going to say
Thank
something.
you. And just kind of, even before you start to leave, is already beginning to uncinch the saddle and remove it.
At this point, Memphis suddenly realizes that he rode out here. Now he needs to walk back. That's all right. I'll go ahead and walk on back and kind of let Jeremy kind of enjoy the elements. And so I have his cage out in front of me and kind of just hold it and walk on back.
Okay. The day is still passing, and it's going to be later in the afternoon.
That's fine. That's my job was to go take the horse thing. As far as I know, I'm supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you
fine.
remember you have the one day, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to make it. I'm short, guys. I can only go so fast, so I'm trying to make my way back.
Okay. But yeah, as you glance back, see the woman is leading the horse back to some kind of watering trough, and she's filling it up with a bucket of water, and is taking the saddle and kind of throwing it over the side of her.
I probably wasn't supposed to let them keep the horse, but oh well.
And yeah, so you begin to head your way back towards the fortress. Hideyoshi.
I probably should have got the lady's name, just so I know where I'm talking about. But that's okay.
Just left the horse with some random stranger.
They obviously know that Yeah,
She knows the horse, but that's the only 2 people in this situation that know each other.
that's fine.
Oh yeah.
Hideyoshi, this little boy is just slowly strolling along the countryside. Every now and then seems to glance back and be reminded, oh, right, I'm on the job.
At some point, I'm going to ask him, how far is it to where this horse belongs?
You should reach there before sundown.
Well, I'm going to scoot up a little bit faster and then put him in the saddle.
As you hoist him up.
Point which direction, please?
What? Okay.
Point.
He points vaguely in the direction you guys have already been traveling.
Canter.
Pick up your pace. About another hour of like a solid trot. The horse is getting a little, starting to breathe a little heavier, but you're seeing that there's small farmhouse. There's like an outbuilding that seems to be storing some kind of crops. And as you approach, there's I say young man, but still basically a child, and he seems to be out, finishing up, cleaning up the fields at this point, and sees you making your way towards his home and comes in to meet you and comes in at a slow jog.
Is this the place? Asks the kid.
The child nods and looks to the man, who sees, is everything all right? He says to the child, who just looks between the two of you, seems very unsure if things are in fact all right.
Yes. Put the child down.
Deposit the child.
Deposit the child on the ground.
Dismount. Do you perchance have a watering trough that I can borrow for a moment?
He looks to the horse. Eyes definitely narrow in recognition. And then seems to get actually a little angry.
Do I have any idea why he's angry with me?
Maybe because you abducted a child? I didn't know what you...
I'm paying the child to leave me here! The kid made more money today than he's ever even seen!
Sure. Roll your vigilance.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna roll 2 dice. Success opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, with that, he's kind of wearing his emotions on his sleeve right here. He's definitely not a cool, calm, collected samurai. Still very much a teenager boy. And you're grasping his recognition of the horse, and the fact that you say, "Hey, can I water my horse here?" You think you brought this horse home and are forcing him to wait on you, and he's not very happy about it.
I just want some water. But I don't allow that distraught thought to appear on my face, because I am a samurai. Ish.
He's not protesting,
Okay.
and slowly leads you back to where there's a trough that he has. Seems to be a few goats are already drinking from it, but the horse pushes forward and begins just to drink up the water.
As the horse drinks, I'm going to give new kid another 2 zany.
Just paid off the.
And you step forward to him, and they're making to hand him some money. He just crosses his arms.
Is there something wrong?
If I accept your money, you have purchased him. Is that it?
No. I was told to bring this horse to a particular watering trough. I'm hoping that I have found it. After which I intend to return it to the person who gave it to me. I was hoping to compensate you for your trouble in dealing with this unusual request.
You ride in here on my father's horse and think a pair of small coins can make it all right.
Does he look like a recent orphan?
How would you tell that?
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe he's like grieving face as opposed to angry face.
I'll give you from your check before. With the anger, there was definite loss.
Okay. In that case, I give him a bow and say, I am sorry for your loss.
But you are still taking the horse.
It is not mine to deal with this. I see fit. I must return it to the one who gave it to me.
And was it my father the one who gave it to them?
What was your father's name?
Sojan.
Sojan?
Yep.
Is it? Do I recognize that name?
Not particularly. Seems like a pretty generic Rokugani name.
Alright. How far is it back to town?
If you really hoof it, it'll probably take about an hour.
Hoof it on the horse or hoof it on foot?
Hoofing like galloping on a horse
Yeah.
would be maybe 20 minutes.
Suppose I leave the horse behind.
That'll take probably over an hour.
Okay. Turn to look at the horse. Turn to look at the kid.
The kid's still standing there. He's like, you can tell his hands are deep in his pocket and he's still clutching the coins.
Not,
Like,
not that kid. The other kid.
Oh, okay.
The
Young
teenage
Sure.
fellow.
the
lad.
lad.
Orphan.
The youths. I turn and look at the youth. Well, I suppose if Doji Dono wishes to have his horse back, he can come and get it himself. And I just walk off.
Oh, snap.
As there's just kind of silence as you depart, and then after a while you just hear from behind. Thank you.
Give a wave. And then Is it, like, warm out? Like it is outside in real life now?
Yep.
Okay. I keep it to a casual stroll.
All right. A quick stroll?
Yes, a quick stroll.
I like to think that even though I dropped off my horse first, since I'm so short, it's going to take me the longest to get
So, Heen, there comes a point when the horse starts growing slightly agitated, even as you're trying to whisper in its ear and be like, "Come on, horsey!" And
Little
it's
pony.
Yeah, pony. And it's looking around, and it seems to be. You can tell that there's like starting to be like the the dry frothing at its mouth, where it's just beginning to bake under the heat of the sun, and is looking for a drink.
Take it to a bar.
Right.
I'm gonna start looking around. Is there water troughs at all? Do I see?
And the various inns have, places where you can pour some water and tend to your horse, water feed.
That doesn't seem right. And I have no idea what Memphis and Hideyoshi have done. I continue letting the horse take me where it would like to go, and I would get off and start leading it so it doesn't have to carry me since it's getting hot.
Okay.
Yes.
So you just kind of dismount and are just walking along beside it for a while. It does stop as you dismount, as it's a trained horse and isn't just going to run off.
Yeah,
But-
and then I encourage it to carry on.
Okay.
Carry on now, my little pony. Lead me to the water.
Now that you're off the horse, you can check to see if it's a boy pony or a girl pony.
We'll say it's a girl.
Okay.
But as you've dismounted, it kind of stands there for a moment, waiting to see what you do, but then begins to pop, off a ways, and just kind of begins to veer down various side streets in the village.
Of course.
And behind one of the inns, you see that apparently some travelers have recently come in, and their horses are drinking from a trough. Your horse begins to kind of speed up a bit and head for that water trough.
Okay.
All right,
Probably not the right trough, but you know.
drives near and just begins to drink up, guzzle the water down, and you have watered your horse, and just afterwards just looks back to you and keeps kind of wandering around the streets and looking for anything to munch on at this point, as it's drunk something. As the rest of the day progresses,
Well, it takes me a while to get back.
I'm going to say both of you hoofing it back from outlying farms, go ahead and roll fitness. Fitness sacrifice, that seems fitting. You rode out on horses, you're coming back on foot. You sacrifice
Success.
better means of travel.
3 success, 1 strife.
Okay. Memphis, you do in fact arrive back after Hideyoshi does. As Hideyoshi, you settle into the brisk, the power walk of middle-aged women everywhere, and just got the swinging shoulders of it, just.
Olympic race walking.
Yep.
Just a Spider-Man 3, just.
Yep. Which, one of my favorite things on the internet is that whole sequence in Spider-Man 3 where he's just being a jerk and, doing finger guns to people on the street, but they just removed the music. And it's just awkward. Oh! Hey! As he's dancing. That's
That's
even
what it
worse.
would have been like, you know?
Yeah. And it somehow makes that scene even worse, but also better. Anyway, so, as the day has winged on, getting to be later in the afternoon at this point, you do that thing where you raise your hand up to the sun, and you've got maybe a little over an hour left of sunlight. As Memphis, you've finally made your way back. Hideyoshi, you've preempted him back to the outlying village area from the fortress.
Find some shade and some water.
Great. As we'll say at this point, you've got the fortress in sight once again. Jikaden is no longer sitting out front, and
Okay.
the horse he was entrusted with is also gone.
It's good that it's not lying dead in the ground.
Horses aren't that stupid. They'll go and find water.
I've been in games before where you leave your horse parked outside the dungeon, you come back and it's died of hunger because you've been in there for a month.
Yeah, because those are stupid AI horses. Real horses
It's smarter than that.
are going to want to survive.
Yep.
No sign of Isoto-shan or his horse. However, after a time, you just kind of see doing the Scooby-Doo run back and forth, only at just like it's a very slow plod, is Saheen and her horse.
Yeah, I'm planning to make my way back to the fortress with the horse at some point.
Okay.
I'm probably just sitting in the courtyard, just kind of talking to Jeremy, like, sorry, Jeremy, that I lost you and all that sort of stuff. No, it's okay. I'll get you something later. You know. Right.
All right.
For me, family member to come back.
Yep. Around about the time shortly after you've returned Memphis, Isoto-shan actually comes just sweat drenched, out of breath, on foot, running back towards the front of the fortress. Just hunched over on his knees, just...
I'll go ahead and offer him some water.
He just motions forward and it's just guzzling it down. Okay. So. Okay.
Did you find the trough?
I think so.
I would.
That makes 4 of us?
Hands the Mars back to you. As basically it's getting to the point where the sun is beginning to dip perilously close down the horizon. Doji Toseki has returned out the front of the fortress and has gone and sat back down in his chair, arms folded, and sees that all of you have returned.
And what about Jakeda?
Jakeda is not back yet.
Okay.
But as he's looking between each of you, sees that 3 of you no longer have your horses, one of you do, one of you does. He looks between all of you. Are we waiting for the other?
For a little while longer, if that's alright with you.
The sun's going to set yet?
Gives an indifferent shrug. No, not yet. To the point where maybe just under an hour left of sunlight, and you see coming back from almost due north is.
Oh no! Oh no!
Jakeda, as he's heaving and running his way back, comes back with all of you and makes a show of not being as out of breath as Isoto-shan was, but as he returns, he just... All right. I think that task is accomplished.
Turn to...
Takes his own Marskin, just sucks it dry. And as Doji Toseki just gives a bit of a grunt and looks between all of you. We may continue then.
Yes, we may.
Calls back inside the fortress, and one of the stable hands returns and looks and sees the horse and trots up to you, and I will return it now.
Grow very kind of, give a horse a sad pat.
Turns to you, gives you this look of, I'll always be your pony. And, yeah, it is led away, not back into the fortress.
Sorry, Saeed. It's a valiant effort.
But you need a friend.
So, says Doji Toseki and waves you all forward. Your 4th task is I wish for you to bring me a weed that whispers of harvest's end.
Understood.
Just waves you off.
Is there a time limit to this one?
He looks out at the horizon where the sun is getting really close to dipping beyond the horizon.
I'm going to go ahead, go in a crisscross applesauce pose, and commune with the spirits of the earth to go see if I can perhaps know about this plant.
Alright.
I'm gonna sprawl and just act very much like I'm just so done right now.
I'm going to remember back to all the school that I was in and see if I remember anything about the order that plants are harvested in.
Okay, theology recall, I guess, then yeah, for you. So you're relying on your Genesis knowledge or your Five Rings knowledge?
I do both? Let's go with my 5 rings knowledge.
Okay.
And hope that it's a survival produce.
Oh.
Could be a survival subsist, though. Actually, those are about the same,
And
aren't
what
they?
are we supposed to bring him again?
A weed that.
Whispers of Harvest's End.
Yes. Actually, yeah, survival subsist.
Said, I have 2 success, 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
Okay.
Communed with the
As
earth to go figure out what
you
what
communed
he's
with the earth, and what is it you're asking of it?
basically where it's a weed. That's all I know about it.
Mhm.
Where this plant can be located.
Okay.
And since I got an extra opportunity to once again the route to it, since I don't know where it would be at.
Okay. The impression you get back seems to be one of confusion, as you're asking, where does one find a weed, but then also that this one that specifically whispers of Harvest's End.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go.
the most you're getting in return, kind of whispered from the kami, is it's almost returning in the form of a question. Do you mean the 7 flowers of autumn?
I guess I'll have to make another check in order to ask yes, or to say yes.
You don't know what they are.
Sure, I'll go ahead and make another check to go say, basically just say yes, looking for the 7 flowers of autumn thing.
But what are the 7 flowers of autumn?
You don't know.
I don't know. So
Then why are you saying yes, that's what you're looking for?
because that's the closest thing that the earth told me about. I'm talking to the earth, I'm Pato.
Oh.
I mean, with my knowledge of this world, know anything about the 7 flowers of whatever it is?
Maybe.
Maybe. Can I make a check to go see if I know what that is first before I go respond?
Sure.
And I'll let you go tell you of your results there, David. Sorry. Because we also made
Oh.
a check. So.
Yep. I'm just waiting. Maybe, whenever.
We'll call this actually culture recall.
Should I recall?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the result, Hideyoshi?
2 success, 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
Okay. And you were attempting
To call upon my knowledge of harvests to.
Okay. You are recalling that there are specific flowers that emerge during the months of autumn. The fact that Toseki is informing you, about, you must go and find me a weed that heralds the harvest's end. He is probably meaning one of them, as they're seasonal in that regard.
Okay.
What was the result?
2 success, 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
Okay. You are also recalling that there is one of them that is referred to as the ague weed.
Okay.
You don't know what it looks like, though.
I turn to my 4 companions.
Well, first off, Nimbus.
So I have a success strife for my recall thing.
Okay. Yeah, the flowers of autumn. They are a group of plants that typically grow and or blossom in the autumn months,
Wow.
and have varying degrees of significance across Rokugan.
Cool. I don't know when this is taking place with Hideyoshi bringing that up. I was gonna go
We'll
back.
say it's now.
Okay.
What was it called again?
One of them is It's not the actual name of it, but kind of the derogatory name is the ague weed.
Ague weed. Does anybody here know what the ague weed looks like?
Let me guess.
I
No.
am flopped in the grass.
Nope.
Don't care.
I
I'm
look
so
at
sick of this.
I look at the two people who actually live in this world.
I'm communing with the earth to go figure out where that plant is located.
As you mentioned that, however, Hideyoshi, Isoro-shan actually... Is that what we were looking for?
I believe so.
Oh. Fujibakama.
What?
Fujibakama.
I don't know what that means.
That is the ague weed.
Okay. Do you know what it looks like?
Somewhat. We are not crop farmers, but
Just need one sample.
looks to Jikeda. It was not really my area of expertise either. But you at least know what you're looking for, sort of.
I have one success in order to locate this here. I'm talking to the earth Tommy again.
Okay. It's the response is basically, oh yeah, you can pretty much find that wherever,
Cool.
provided it's in season.
Does it sound like it's not in season right now?
You just had the harvest,
Yeah.
so
So it should be in season.
it's right at the cusp of whether or not
In my-
any sort of autumn flowers would be in bloom.
In my wandering throughout the city previously, obviously at my shop, did I find or go past any flower shops? Or like plant shops? Insult the percentile.
There are shops that definitely deal with crop cultivation, but nothing that really peddles, flowers for the sake of flowers.
Gotcha. And this is a weed, it sounds like, so it wouldn't necessarily be a flower, although it is also a flower.
It is one of the 7 flowers of autumn, but it is also referred to as the ague weed.
It's like a daisy. Not that it looks like a daisy, but it's a flower and a weed.
Gotcha.
I look around for any flowery looking things in the immediate vicinity.
Okay, you're looking around the streets around the fortress.
Look around where I'm sitting. Do I find anything?
You don't really see anything around the fortress that looks promising.
Should we head back out to the field where we were helping farm?
Well, out of curiosity,
yeah.
do any of us have an idea of what it looks like? Or do I get any idea of what it looks like from the earth? Or... Nah,
Did you roll any opportunity you can use for an additional boon?
I didn't get it any that time.
Okay.
You can continue to commune, it'll just take more time if you wish.
Could I maybe commune? I don't know if you'll allow this or not, but since this is a world that probably has underground streams and all of that, could I use water? So, what?
Use your thing! But you don't know what it looks like, never mind.
My thing?
The things you could...
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could, but
But you don't know what it looks like.
yeah.
But if you commune and then you do know what
Right.
it looks like,
although it only lasts the encounter, so who knows how
that's
long.
okay.
Yeah.
He just needs to see that we knew what it was.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and, if you allow this, go commune with like underground rivers or that type of stuff. That would probably bring water to this, or I don't even know if I could do this, or that might be more air.
I'm gonna get off my lazy butt
Mhm.
and go wander out to one of the fields we farmed.
Yeah.
And go see if I can find anything that remotely sounds like this thing.
Sure.
I'm going to also go with her, but instead of wandering around the fields, I'm going to go and knock on the farmer's door.
Survival produce, Sahin?
So, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I don't know if you allow me to do the water thing, or if
You can attempt.
cool, we'll do that.
Hideyoshi, you head out to one of the nearer farms and just boom, 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 bang on the door. And
One success.
in short order, one of the farmers you remember having harvested for comes and looks you over.
Sorry, there are no more crops to be harvested.
I'm actually looking for a insert name here. The big long formal name.
Oh, it will soon be cropping up everywhere, I'm sure.
Soon.
Shortly, yes. As we've completed the harvest, the autumn months will begin, and you'll have no shortage of any of the flowers of autumn.
What does it look like?
It's a small, sort of tufted green leaves to it, and rather nondescript white blossom.
Thank you very much for your time. Have a nice evening.
You as well.
Sorry to disturb you a minute.
Actually seemed pretty friendly because, you did some good work for him. You especially, you were just like...
It took you a few days to get there.
Yeah. I warm up slower, right, guys?
Yep.
As I'm wandering out, I keep an eye out for any flowers or weeds matching the description, or that might soon become a weed of this
Then on your way
description.
back, you find Saheen, who's looking around, just kind of... and looking around for anything resembling
I
a
got
weed
one
or a
success.
flower. You find, scattered small plumes of growth of flowers, and you're picking any small buds. Like, maybe it's this, I don't know.
See Hideyoshi, I shoved what I found in your face. Or any
Well,
of
you got
these?
him flowers. You're so nice.
Aww.
Are any of them...
Some of them are white-ish, like kind of off-white yellow, but any of them that are anything that might match the description the farmer gave you do not have the right roughage to it.
I do forward the description on. Green tufties with white flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the important note is that they would just be coming up if at all, and many of the ones you're finding are kind of old and been sun-withered and are not fresh.
I renew my search.
For new weeds.
With
All right,
new...
are you searching together?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so what
And-
is it? The survival...
Produce.
Produce? Okay.
We'll say at this point,
I've got-
Jaden and Desodashan come over and assist as well.
I have one rank in survival and I only have one earth die. Okay.
I'll take
What'd you have to Memphis?
So meanwhile,
3
back and
bonuses
forth,
from you
side of
guys
left,
assisting.
yeah. With my commune with the water, I got
Yep.
3 success, 1 and 4 strife.
Okay. Wow.
Quite a roll.
Yeah. You're growing slightly frustrated at your inability to actually decipher whatever it is the world and the spirits are trying to tell you. But you are getting that... You were somewhat on the right track thinking of like underground water flow and stuff,
Right.
as the flower you are seeking appears to grow in damp, shaded areas.
Can I use my one opportunity to lead me to the nearest spot that this would be at?
I mean, yeah, you can look around and find damp, shaded areas, but anything closer towards the fortress of the village is going to be a little more heavy foot traffic, so you're less likely to
Yeah.
locate.
Alright, so I guess I'll go ahead and just ping an area out in the outside of the city and just start heading that way, since I don't know where my compatriots are at.
Okay, so you just kind of look out around and you're like, that looks like some sort of dark, shadowy area, and
Right.
might be some water there, so...
We probably would have at least mentioned to you, hey, we're going to go back to the farm we worked at.
I wouldn't have, but if somebody else did, great.
I would have...
Well, there's no perception check, so you're able to see them out in the fields.
Cool.
They appear to be looking around, and
I have Jeremy out looking with me.
We got 2 success, 1 strife.
okay. Memphis, as you come upon them, they don't appear to have had any luck yet, and they're as you're assessing where they're looking, they're just kind of looking anywhere, like where the fields have been harvested.
wrong place.
Yes, and you know, haha. We can try again with renewed intelligence, as I am aware of where the places it
Right.
might grow.
Relay the information, blah, 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 blah.
Try again.
So, yep, the sun is beginning to get to the point where it's getting lost in trees on the horizon.
Okay. Oops, that was one of them. And I'll take one of you. And you get to... Wait, one of you gets to reroll. Nope. That's going to be 2 success, 1 strife. Which puts me at my composure threshold.
Okay. Still, you're looking around and you're not managing to find it. At this point, the sun is like the orb of it is lost, as like the bottom of it is dipping, and it's
Can I
getting an
take
oblong shape.
point
can if you wish.
So, if I have the support of the group, what do I add?
Ring die.
So
How
I've
many?
got 3 ranks in survival. Can she use my rank dice? Okay, so instead of getting a ring die from me, you get 3 skill die.
On top of my 1 skill die, or I roll your skill?
You roll
roll
his
mine
skill
instead.
ranks instead.
Okay.
And if you have a void point, now might be a time to use it, so you can
I
keep
don't.
an extra one. Can she use my void point?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
What does that do?
You get to keep an extra die.
Okay, and
And-
then how many I get? How many ring die? I'm using his skill, so I don't get a ring die.
Correct. So you get 3 ring dice.
Plus mine.
4 because using the void point
There's
does.
the void.
So you get 4.
4 additional ring dice.
4 additional ring die plus 2 additional skill die,
Right. 'Cause you're-
Okay.
and you can keep an extra die when you roll.
How many dice can I keep?
Your ring plus 1.
Yeah, because that void point was spent.
I think that means because this is. Which ring is this?
For DS, yes, Earth.
Okay.
Welcome to Earth.
Well, that's not going to be great then. 1 success, 2 opportunity.
You guys are scouring everywhere across the fields. It's getting
Well,
like the
this
sun
way
is
we're-
half gone at this
We're
point.
only looking in the shaded, wet areas.
Yep.
Out of curiosity, now since I know what it looks like, and I've been talking to Mother Nature
Mhm.
stuff,
Mother's nature.
Mother's Nature, could I go make the, so we'll probably have to look it up to see what exactly it does. The token of memory on page 195, you'll make an illusionary thingy of it.
Okay. You. Do you need to roll for that?
Yeah, I do need to roll for it. I don't remember what I rolled though exactly.
A token of memory as a scheme action. Target number 2, theology air check.
Okay, so theology air. Theology analyze.
Any character confronted with one of these illusions must resist with a target number 4 artisan smithing or design check.
Interesting.
I only have 1 success, so I don't think I do it. But I have 2 opportunity. 1 success and 2 opportunity.
It's target number 2, right?
So I sadly
Nope.
don't do it.
You're trying to conjure it up, but the impression you were getting from the kami is nebulous enough that you're not able to craft the image of it.
Cool.
Do you keep looking?
I think I would like to keep looking.
Okay, go for it.
This, and again, we're just supposed to bring back the weed, or sorry, the flower, or the weed that,
The weed that whispers of harvest's end.
right.
Okay, that's more like it. Unfortunately, I can't keep all of those, but I can keep both of these. And they both explode. And they both roll blank!
Whew. Okay.
Well, it's 2 success again.
Yeah.
I had 4 exploders in that first roll and 2 blanks. That's...
Mm-hmm.
Rough.
yeah.
The sun is continuing to dip. It's almost gone at this point.
Do we get to make one more attempt?
Yeah, 1 more.
Does anybody have a void point that they can spend?
They don't have any.
Alright, I'm gonna try one more time.
Alright.
Okay, and I can reroll one of these if I choose. Okay. Right. So I have no choice but to take that one, which is going to be a problem. And then I will take this one here.
Jeremy isn't a weed, though.
That depends on who you ask.
Come on, don't. Yes! Whew. Screw it. Yes! Yes!
Boy,
I just want you to look at that.
When you succeed,
So we,
How much success?
Another one.
so we're really good at
There we go.
weeds and
So
crickets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 success and 5 strife.
Okay.
And you know what? That puts me at 15 out of 10. So I just like lift up a whole big rock and throw it. And
And they're sitting pristine underneath the boulder. Reach it up, and Chicken is that it? We must return.
yes!
And everybody just.
An extra one just in case we happen to lose it all.
I just
Just sprints back towards the fortress, just at the point where the sun is just about to dip below the horizon.
your task is accomplished.
Hold it out in front of Toseki, he just calmly takes it.
Then it is time for your final task.
What is it?
I sit down.
He actually just calmly sets down the weed next to him.
I go sit right next to it.
I have to take a moment and step back and
Your final task. You must now draw your blade against your truest friend.
No, not you, Jeremy!
What?
And you is super compromised, so we'll pick that up next time.
What did he say?
You must draw your blade against your truest friend.
yeah. So
Dun dun dun!
I just...
Actually, I think that was 6 strength, but it was 8 success.
Yep.
It exploded 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm an artisan, I can just draw on my sword.
And because things went the way they did, you guys, well, out of game you have time to consider because we're picking this up next week.
Right.
But in game, it's just if the sun sets, you're done. The trials are over and you fail. So yeah, in game for you guys, you've got a compromised member, and yeah, you need to decide how you proceed.
Okay.
Draw your blade against your truest friend.
It's not you, don't worry.
So
Oh, thanks, friend.
as we
Actually-
have nearly reached the end of your tests at the hands of Doji Toseki to join ostensibly the ranks of the clan, the Crane clan army. We'll pick this up next time on Tim Portalers. Thanks for checking out our show. If you want to learn more about us, follow us at Tim Portlers on Twitter, or you can email us directly at tim.portlers@gmail.com.